Good afternoon and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Saturday afternoon and today I have been ruminating on many different things. Things that I don't buy, things that I do buy, all sorts of different things. And I thought I would come and tell you what I took away from the £20 per week food budget challenge. The things that I noticed, the things that have made a difference. Um, And surprisingly enough, the first thing on my list is pancakes. hmm Because I quite like my pancakes. And until last week, when I had bought eggs and flour with my budget, if I'd got pancakes, it would have been a packet of pancakes. And I actually looked it up this morning. It's £1.20 for 4 or 5 of the large pancakes in Asda's. Now, granted, those are the like American style pancakes, but it's £1.20. Now, I have made my own pancakes twice this week, and bear with me. As I said last night, they're that size, that's the pan I use. So I get 4 large pancakes out of 1 egg and about a cup of flour and a sprinkling of sugar. So I worked it out, I've generously budgeted, and it's about 80 pence in ingredients for me to make the pancakes. And alright, it takes me 10 minutes standing to make them and turn them and things. So 10 minutes electricity, so £1 versus £1.20 for the bought pancakes, which do have an aftertaste, I have to say. I don't like that bit. So I shall be making more pancakes. And that sort of took my head to, well, in that case, you can make scones because it's the same sort of ingredients. So, yeah, that is a distinct possibility. However, time is always a thing that I don't like using up too much of my time on a Saturday or Sunday. I've got quite enough to do without adding myself another couple of hours cooking if I don't have to. But pancakes are quick and easy. And so having ingredients is definitely a thing to do with the £20 a week challenge. Now, the other thing that I got out of it was different choices. I was quite conscious when I got to the third week that I didn't want more sausages. I didn't want more of the same. I know that last week I got sausages again because that was the only thing that was reduced in Lidl's. And what that's making me think is where I am very lucky because I've got the 2 freezers. When I buy a big shop, like if I go to Lidl's and there's a lot of stuff in it reduced and I just buy it, that can be in the freezer for 2 months before I go into my second pack of sausages. Whereas if you're doing £20 a week, that's what you're eating that week. All right, you can normally, have a bit of a stash. You can batch cook and only eat 2 portions that week and keep 2 portions in the freezer. But you don't want to be having a freezer full of sausage casserole or bangers and mash or, a hot pot. What am I talking about? Toad in the hole. Thank you. So yeah, different choices. So trying to make sure you get, next word was variety. Making sure you get a variety of anything and everything so that you can change up what you're doing, because there's only so many times you can have the same thing over and over. So yeah, that was my next thing. My other thing is insight into quantities. Now, for my pasta, because I make my own macaroni cheese and I make that tuna pasta thing, I use a lot, but it's like half a bag of pasta for them. But they go in the freezer, but the mac and cheese does, but the tuna doesn't. It gets used for lunch. So they don't last very long. So it's like, if I have the ingredients for mac and cheese and tuna pasta, that's my bag of pasta gone. However, rice, a third of a bag of rice, I've still got cooked rice in the freezer. You get way more bang for your buck for a bag of rice. So it's given me quite an insight into quantities as to what lasts, what doesn't, what I eat more of. And, even the things like the making the pancakes. That bag of flour is going to last me a while. So it's quite good to think, well, okay, so if I've got that, then make sure you get eggs next week, because then you can have pancakes again, and then you maybe don't have to get eggs for another couple of weeks, and then you can do it again. Having ingredients and knowing how quickly or how much of them they use. As I say, the difference in my intake of, or my usage of pasta versus rice is quite huge, but the difference in price between buying the raw pasta and the raw rice is not that much. So I need to be eating more rice. It goes further. So yeah, an insight into quantities was very interesting. And also just how, never mind, that's my next thing. Preparing and having backup. And that's like two things. It's not preparing back. It's preparing. I am dreadful at trying to get lunch sorted to take to work with me. Best thing I did during this challenge was make the lentil soup, because if I hadn't organised anything else, I could go into the freezer and take out a tub of lentil soup. That was fine. It wasn't a full meal, because obviously for lunch you don't want to be taking something that's actually been prepped for your dinner. So having that was a really good plan. So I need to make sure I have got things prepared that I can just lift out the freezer for lunch. And I'm hoping tomorrow to make my own sausage rolls. We'll see how that goes. So I've got on soft squishy socks and they keep sliding on the tiles. That's why I keep moving. But yeah, preparing lunches is a really good thing. And having things as a backup as well, for if something didn't work. So yeah, that lunch has been a big learning curve to make sure I have things for lunch, and I haven't been overly good at it, but soup has definitely been a lifesaver, and I think making my own sausage rolls or pasties or things is also going to be useful. Storing leftovers, huge thing, huge. At the very beginning of this challenge, I got the peppers and I chopped them up. Now, when you chop up 3 peppers, that gives you 4, 5, 6 portions to go in with things. To go in with the tuna pasta salad, to go in with a bit of a stir fry. That was a lot of peppers. Now, normally what would happen is I would take a couple of bits, use them in a stir fry, then forget about them for a couple of days and waste them. But this time I chopped them up and put them in the freezer. Or actually, I think it came out of my storage. It was the one that I had already done. But that's what I did, was chop them up and put them in the freezer. My potatoes, I have wasted so many potatoes through the years, because I really, really want mash, or I really, really want Lenny's potatoes. So I buy them and then I don't use the rest of them. But this time I actually bit the bullet, peeled the potatoes, mashed them, and did my quenelles and put them in the freezer. It's fabulous. So much easier. You know, it's just a case of biting the bullet for the time it takes to do it. And then I've just got this never-ending supply of mashed potato. So, yeah, food wastage. Making sure that you use everything. And if you don't leave it sitting. Get it chopped up, get it dehydrated, get it frozen, do something with it. So, yeah, big deal on the storing leftovers. And don't make it if you're not going to use it. Can I just mention mayonnaise? I made mayonnaise again last weekend, and I love it, and it was fabulous. And I put the Dijon mustard in it, and it was great. And I had it with the tuna pasta mayonnaise thing, and I haven't used it since then. So what's left in that jar, if I don't eat it this weekend, it needs to go. So I'm not going to make any more this weekend, because it takes all of 10 minutes. So just make it when you're ready to use it. And that saves you wasting time and wasting food. See, so that is the things I have found. So I hope that has been useful to you. Now I am going to go and get myself ready, because this evening I am getting taken out for my birthday dinner. So I'm going to go and get all sorted, and I'll catch you later.